Well, hello and welcome to Ringside Toe to Toe Extra. I'm Andy Scott and I'm joined by George Groves and Frazer Clarke, where we are going to assess the dust that is settling on the Saudi Arabian desert, where Tyson Fury beat Francis Ngannou, but my word, only just. Frazer Clarke, you were out there ringside. What did you make of it, first of all? When they started to read the scores out, were you confident that Fury was going to get it? Because it's different being ringside and being at home about how you saw it and how you scored it.
No, I wasn't confident, It went on to the last, obviously, one judge had Ngannou, one
Yeah,
had Fury.
I thought the draw was coming.
I was exactly the same. I was actually with Ngannou's sponsors, Gymshark, I think it was. They were stood next to me, and they were adamant. And then you sort of, because you're watching it with people, you sort of get dragged into. I think he has won that, and like I say, I haven't watched it back yet, but I thought the upset was coming. I really did, and then when Fury's name got called, there wasn't no one celebrated.
No,
It was almost like
it looked a bit flat out there.
Yeah.
And then actually post-fight looked a bit flat, George, because I think they had grand plans for Usyk to get in the ring and for them to face off, but because it had gone the way it had gone, it all felt a bit
forced.
Yeah, a bit needless. I don't know,
Well-
because it is still the next fight contractually. Apparently, we're told, but it did feel like a little bit like
Yeah.
that doesn't feel like this is right.
Usyk's sitting in the crowd. He's probably the only person who ain't been paid to go, and he's thinking, "I am not fighting in 7-8 weeks' time against this guy. It's not happening." He jumps in the ring for that head-to-head, and he just says, "I'll see you 23rd. I'm off to bed."
Yeah.
And he's probably off to bed with the ump because he knows that ain't gonna happen. There's not a chance that fight's happening on that date.
Yeah, so that's the what's next for Tyson Fury. So you think it's not Usyk on the 23rd because of everything that we've been told?
Yeah, it's not Usyk on the 23rd December. I don't think it's Usyk next. I think it's either
you do,
Ngannou.
so,
It's either Ngannou or that's the last of Fury. We finished the Fury. I think the fight's left him. And I'm not saying this in a cruel way. Why would it not? He's earned money. He's got his accolades. Like what's definitely important to Tyson Fury, because he talks about being mentally strong, but he's also fragile equally as much as that. He tells everyone he's the Gypsy King and he's the man and no fighter can ever beat him, and someone right now who can beat him, and a lot of people will think the same, is Usyk. So he doesn't need to roll the dice and get beat off the little gap-toothed Ukrainian guy. He'd rather just sail off into the sunset, because Fury's he can be a cool character, an interesting character. There's lots of avenues he can explore after boxing, which won't be the same, or might even have them doors shut on him if he goes out and gets beat by Usyk. So I think either he's going to try and rectify the last fight against Ngannou, which you get paid a lot of money for, and a lot of people will be interested in, and he will train better and show up and perform, or he might retire.
Agree or disagree, Fraser, if we're talking about the what next for Tyson Fury?
It's
You're
great
more
point.
qualified, because whilst you may agree, you got a sense of what was planned out there.
Yeah,
You got a sense of what everyone was talking about.
It's great points George has made, but I'm in the same breath that, not knowing Tyson, because I don't know him, but I've seen enough of him to know, and the family especially. I don't know if pride will let him not fight Usyk, and as much as he dismissed it, I don't know if pride will not let him fight AJ as well. I feel like it needs to happen. I think the only question is, with that fight, are we going to get it when they both slow down a little bit? Do you know what I mean? I think we need to see it now. As for the Usyk thing, I said within 10 seconds finishing, oh my God, I'm gutted. That's that fight. That's
Is
done.
that how you felt?
It's not. It's
Yeah.
not 20. It's definitely not the 23rd. For whatever reasons, would he want another fight? Would he want a confidence fight before Usyk?
Yeah, but mad.
After that
because
possibility.
the confidence fight should have been Ngannou.
Yes,
There's-
exactly.
Exactly. There's no way he's woke up the next morning without loads of doubts.
Oh yeah,
Loads of doubts. Do I want it anymore? If I still got it anymore? Like, why could I not just handle this guy comfortably, totally out of shape? He's they are boxing people. Like they understand boxing, and I think Tyson definitely does. He's had a long route. You know, he's had to fight away from home, underdog, all these sort of things, and he might be just questioning like, do I really want to do it anymore?
Yeah, but that might be the best thing for Tyson Fury. And again, I reference an interview I saw with his brother Shane. Tyson, there is no doubt that he is at his best when everybody's telling him he can't and he's finished and his back's to the wall or he's the massive underdog. And I just wonder now, look, you might as well do Usyk because everyone thinks you're flat as a pancake after that Ngannou fight. Everyone thinks that your best days are behind you.
But he
Yeah,
might have
maybe
changed.
that might, like,
He might have changed, Andy. Don't forget, he wasn't the people's champion until after the Wilder fight, like after the second Wilder fight as well. Like, and he hasn't really had that acid test since. That's a long time.
Yeah.
Wilder's in much better shape for that third fight than he was the second fight. The second fight when he got really beaten up and dominated, his head was all over the shop. He came in light, you know. But he'd sort of knuckled down for that third fight, and Fury had to get up off the floor to win. But since then, I don't think he hasn't had to work hard. He hasn't had to struggle. You know, the White fight wasn't hard. White didn't show up. Trizora was like a friend.
Mm.
That's a lot. It feels like a long time since he's probably been really back against the wall.
Yeah,
And
so-
to roll back the clock and have that hunger still, he's got to be 35 now.
Yeah, something like that.
It might not be the same as. It definitely won't be the same as going out to Germany and beating Klitschko. I know it in my career.
And there is that
Like-
saying, isn't it? I know, like, I don't like talking about the finances of it, but I hope Tyson Fury, and it looks like he has made a lot of money. It's very difficult to get out of bed and run in the morning when you're wearing silk pajamas. There's that famous saying.
Yeah.
But Floyd did.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
the greats find a way.
I don't see that from Fury. Just from, obviously, you only know what you know. You know, unless you're really close, you don't know. But you know from the type of people that they perceive to be, and that I've seen them and met them a few times, and they actually are really, like, you know, genuine, hardworking, normal people. My problem is, not a problem, but we just don't know with him, do we? We've been here so many times. Would it surprise you if? Well, it would surprise me if it was on the 23rd. But would it surprise you if the fight is early next year, and he comes and performs out of this world?
Oh, wouldn't shock me slightly.
So, you know, as much as I like Tyson Fury, I'm a fan, I don't usually take what he says with much credibility, because he might just he could lie to us all, and
Yeah.
like I say, he could turn up next year and be unbelievable. But with the points that George making, it's been a while now since he's had to go to the well, and to just do that again, because I believe Usyk, yeah, he's smaller. Forget the size, but I still believe this is the hardest fight of his career when they do fight.
I agree.
For more reasons than one. Nothing to do with, not all to do with size, but the pressure, the skill,
The legacy.
the
element.
legacy. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot riding on it. But if that was me, that would be driving me on. Chalk and cheese compared to the Ngannou fight. Mentally wise, it's got to be. I'd like to think it'd be in a completely different place. And
What-
you would
Say,
get
say he's
what-
going to get
what-
the same money.
Sorry,
when you
sorry,
go.
just to move on. What next for Ngannou? Well done, Francis Ngannou. Made a fan out of me. I think made a fan out of a hell of a lot of boxing people, and he had his MMA fans already. If he carries on in boxing, which he said he would, and I think actually there's part of me I'd like to see now what he can go on and achieve. Where and what? I mean, let's assume that he doesn't.
He stays in boxing now.
Yeah, but let's assume he doesn't fight Tyson Fury and Fury does fight Usyk. So what does Ngannou do, and against whom?
I think it's still exhibition realm in that it needs to be a mega name. And to me, the two biggest names, if it's not Usyk or Fury, then it's Wilder or Joshua, because they're the former heavyweight champions, and you know that's going to be an entertaining fight. Ngannou's apparently this massive puncher. You know, we haven't seen enough boxing to find that out yet, and we know Joshua and Wilder are massive punchers. I think that's a great fight. I think it's still on that realm of, like, you know, exhibition, isn't it? Because
It doesn't feel real. I think that's why it doesn't feel like Francis Ngannou has gate crashed the world top 10, despite what Maurizio Suleiman is saying. Is there a little bit from someone that's in the pro boxing world, in the rankings, the fact that Ngannou is going to get a top 10 ranking and leapfrog some of the other guys, is that going to sit well, or do people sort of accept like, well, you know, he nearly beat the lineal heavyweight champion, you know?
Nah, that's a take. That's taking. Come on, I mean, I get it. He generates a lot of money, but let's have it right. That's not right. Coming in and having an exhibition type fight. I mean, putting the rankings.
Yeah, in the top 10.
Everyone will be at it next, won't they? Do you know what I mean? And what is it if they survive the rounds to get a ranking? Is that what you offer them? If you get through these 10 rounds of boxing, you get ranked in the top 10 of the WBC. Is that where we're at in boxing? Is that where we really are?
That's
Come
what
on.
So Suleiman is saying, though. I mean, what caliber of opponent would you put him in with next? If you're like, say Frazer Clarke.
A name. If you've had a name, so I personally think I seen his name mentioned the other day. Big Zhang knocks him out for me. Not knocks him out.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not saying that I would like to see Ngannou get knocked up, but I would like to see him in against
big puncher. What are we trying to build him, or are we trying to get him knocked out? What are we doing with him? What are we trying to get? Are we trying to get him?
I still think we want to gauge. I still think we want to gauge of him in a big fight. So that's you can match him with who you want. What would be an interesting fight? Okay, all right, then let's do it your way. What would be a winnable fight? It's not as easy to do a winnable fight.
Takam. Is that too low of a name? But
no,
he's a gatekeeper, for usually.
And they're great mates, aren't they? He got him on the card.
Okay.
He got him on the card.
All right.
Because I think he befriended him when he was homeless in Paris.
Okay. I don't want to discredit no one. He's got to be like a world level gatekeeper, if that makes sense. I can't tell off the top of my head who they are.
No, it's not very easy.
No.
Not very easy.
Hellenius?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not. But that's not the name. For Ngannou to do anything, we need him in with a name.
Yeah.
So he probably has to just stick down the exhibition route just to have. If he does that, it's the bigger names. If it starts being competitive fights, are as many people going to watch? Or as many people going to tune in to see Ngannou versus Hellenius?
No. You know what they should do, and just get it over and done with? They should do Jake Paul versus Francis Ngannou. Just let them two fight.
Winner stays on.
Just let them two fight.
The answer is, I don't know, because I do believe a proper Fury just beats him well.
Well, there you get. So maybe there's the answer. Is the answer just to do the rematch?
As much as I don't want to see it again, because it was entertaining because of what happened, but it's a bit of a farce as well. But if they have to chuck another 100 mil at it, then just so be it. You know what I mean?
What a world that we're in now.
Yeah.
What a world that we're in.
So
I'll fight him if there's that much money. And I don't need to train either.
I'll go first.
We went long enough just to nudge him into it. There you go. Right. That's the clip. That's what's going out on social media. George Groves, I'll fight Ngannou. Thank you very much to George and to Frazer. We'll be back next week with more toe-to-toe extra, so make sure you join us then where we'll have some more special boxing guests.
You could beat him, Andy.
Sky Sports. Feel it all.